All right, I have Josh Harvey back on the show now, who will be defending his NEF featherweight title in the main event this Friday at NEF 45. Josh, how are you?
Good, Ryan. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, always a pleasure. And I got to imagine for you, it's been so long since you've actually stepped in and competed inside of the cage, professionally. I mean, obviously you're training year round, but you must be feeling
hmm
just really anxious and just excited to get back into the cage and competing.
I mean, as much as I feel ring rust is real, that's been proven time and time again at all levels. Once you've been through this once or twice or a dozen or 2 dozen times, whatever it is, you kind of you're used to it. The only thing I could see is the fans. It's different with the fans out there.
Yeah, I mean, and you've had what, like 3 training camps now, where you've been getting ready for fights and they've fallen through. How frustrating has that been?
Well, it's maybe a blessing in disguise, really, because we've been able to hone in skills and work on my weak areas and kind of mix our game up. So now I'm just really excited to be able to put some of that on display, especially represent the gym. Vision Quest Muay Thai over here in Newport now, been open, you know, kind of ballsy, coach open in the middle of COVID. But now it's time to thrive.
Yeah, no doubt. And obviously, one guy, I'm not exactly sure when he came to Vision Quest, but he's been there for a little while now. And of course, I'm talking about the Ryan Sanders, main training partner. What has
Yeah.
that been like, man, getting that working with him again, such another high level fighter like yourself?
I mean, Ryan and I were always like close in the gym, but now I feel like we're under Primo. We're under like we're on the same path now. Whereas before, I felt um, like we weren't. So it's been amazing. And I think as the gym continues to grow, it's going to attract more and more high level fighters from around New England and maybe even further than that. I said it this morning in training. People move to California to to pursue this dream. Now they only got to move to Newport. Like that's it's not very far. We're 30 minutes from Waterville, 30 minutes from Bangor, right in the middle.
Yeah, and clearly with Primo there as the head coach, you got someone that's very high level and a lot of knowledge to train underneath. I did want to ask you too, following up on Ryan. Man, we haven't seen him fight for a while now. How's he looking? When can we expect to see him in the cage again?
Well, I mean, it's I'm not at liberty to discuss anything like that. I'll tell you that he looks great. Um, he's as big and strong as ever. I'm not exactly sure what weight he's looking to come back at. That's something him and coach and uh, you know I'm not sure if he has management. I don't believe so. They'll decide. So it's between him and coach.
Training under Primo, learning with him. What area of your game have you evolved the most since we've seen you fight last?
Ooh, I mean, I've come so far, but obviously coming under Primo, my striking, most definitely. But he coaches really case to case basis. So the way he coaches, for me is different than how he's coaching for Tim Murray, or really mixing everything and fighting all the way through. Whether I'm standing or transitioning to the ground or coming back from the ground, just really fighting every moment of the fight is going to be a big difference. Not accepting to wrestle when it's time to wrestle.
Now, I understand you went out to some other big gyms across the country. I mean, you were at King's MMA, you were at ATT, Team Alpha Male. What did you learn from those experiences at some of those big gyms?
Now I've found the home is at home. But I think going out there for me was I had this almost fear that I was a big fish in a little pond. So I had to go out there and just kind of swim with some sharks and figure out that I was, I'm a shark too. And that kind of laid that to rest in my mind. Like, am I good, or am I just good for Maine? I'm good. More importantly, now I travel to train under South Tampa Jiu Jitsu, which is a Hobson Mora school, which is I think for years and years, I was wrestling and doing some MMA based jujitsu, but not really tightening like gi work. And I still don't think that I think the gi is a wonderful sport. Do I think it's really applicable for what we do? I think there are pieces of it that can help me evolve. So more importantly, recently, that's the traveling I've been doing. I think I've made half a dozen trips down to Tampa through this quarantine.
Wow.
This
Okay.
COVID pandemic. Yeah.
Nice place to be, especially come wintertime here.
Yes. Exactly. I'll probably make another trip after this fight, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
You know, and finally get a blue belt in my gi, which, you know, for someone who's studying martial arts for 10 years, you know, you start saying like, the belts don't matter, the belts don't matter. And then when you finally get a belt, you know, yes, it matter a little bit. You know, I'm still not, you know, an expert in all the gi holds and breaking all the grips, but I'm getting there.
Now it is fight week, so I do have to ask you. Obviously, you know, with the weight cut, you're a big dude, making it all the way down to 45. I don't want to poke the bear, man, but just tell me where you at right now.
Next question. I'll make it. I'll make it. You know, people who follow me, they know I tend to walk around a little heavy, but you know, I feel like a lot of people do, and it's how comfortable you are with embracing the suck come time to suck weight. And some people tell you I'm not that comfortable. I'm not that nice of a guy when I'm cutting weight either. So you know, we'll make it happen.
All right. And with this fight being so close to where you live, are you going to come back after weigh-ins and sleep in your own bed, or are you going to stay down there with a couple of the guys from the team before the big fight night?
Oh no, so I mean, close to where we live, I'm still 2 hours, you know. So a few of the guys and I will, NEF is putting us up, and we'll probably just spend the whole night in the hotel, you know, coming back up to weight, coming back up to my 170 plus pounds.
Okay, very good. Now your opponent, Aguilando Brandao, he's 9-8. A couple guys stood out to me who he's fought in the past. He lost to Saul Almeida. We all know who he is, very well-rounded fighter. He also beat Pedro Gonzalez. So I mean, this guy's been in there with some studs. When you look at his skill set versus, you know, what kind of a fighter you are, stylistically, what kind of a fight do you expect come fight night?
I really don't know what to expect. I didn't really watch. I couldn't find any MMA tape on him. You know, I know he's been busy with the boxing. That's probably, if you ask me, it's probably a financial decision. Anyone who's been around fighting for a little while knows that MMA doesn't pay, grappling doesn't pay. You step in there with some boxers and you can make some money. I wasn't impressed with what I saw from his hands, so I'm going to assume that his success came on the ground. That and him being Brazilian descent. I mean, those guys probably they're born wearing a gi, right? So I'm not going to call where the fight goes or where it's not going to go or where it's going to be finished. we'll keep it where I have the best odds.
Do you see yourself getting a finish in this fight?
Yeah. You know, after, you know, it's years ago, but it still haunts me. After that Giannetti decision, I don't ever want to see a fight go to the judges. You never know. Doesn't matter how good of a show you put on. It's just, you never know what a judge sees.
Yeah, very true. Now, Josh, if you do get this win, you defend your belt, man. A lot of people feel like with your record, you're right on the doorstep of maybe taking that next step, wherever it may be. What are you hoping? I know you're putting all that in Primo's hands, but what are you hoping brings or comes for you here in 2022?
So we're signed with Top Game Management now and Tyson Chartier. And really it's stay ready, and anything could happen from here. You know, whether it be, you know, a short notice at a higher level promotion, not to downplay NEF, they run a great promotion, but you know, UFC or Bellator. I don't think I would take a short notice for Bellator, but I'd take a short notice for UFC. It's about the only people who could give me the last minute call. That, or, you know, I don't know, maybe Contender Series or the Ultimate Fighter would be super cool. Anything we're ready.
All right. Well, we're all excited to see you back in the cage, my man. Again, this Friday at the Aura nightclub in Portland, Maine, NEF 45, Josh Harvey will be the main event defending his featherweight strap against Aguilando Brandao. Josh, always a pleasure. Before I let you go, I want to give you the floor. Tell people where to follow you on social media. And if you have anyone to thank, the floor is yours.
You can find me at Hook on Harvey on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I want to thank all these wonderful sponsors and a couple more. Bira Buddha, which makes wonderful meats, furniture and more in Bangor, Striker Power Systems in Bangor as well. And we'll see you all at the fights.